Good morning, Manchester. It's Friday, and welcome to the November 3rd edition of The Pulse. I'm Kyle Smith.
And I'm Delaney Faulkner. Thank you so much for joining us today. This week on The Pulse, Lauren Diana gives us the breakdown on Election Day with a special edition of Crash Course.
And later, we investigate the controversial topic of students painting parking spots in the senior lot.
Finally, Andrew Suey asked the members of the MHS community how they think the implementation of FlexBlock is affecting both the academics and the discipline here at Manchester High School.
All this and much more coming up on this week's edition of The Pulse. Election Day is approaching quickly and takes place this Tuesday, November 7th. And while there isn't a presidential race, the local town election is very important. Lauren Diana tells us why in this November edition of Crash Course.
Though many of you high school students are not yet eligible to vote, it is important we understand the process behind Election Day. Welcome to this edition of Crash Course.
Once you are officially in the system, all voters are required to answer a referendum question. This essentially is a proposal to spend $13 million on roads and infrastructure. The candidates are listed below this question. The 12 individuals are divided into row A, the Democrats, and row B, the Republicans.
Well, there's a couple different ways. You could certainly go to the Registrar of Voters and register. You can even go online through the State of Connecticut site to register. There are deadlines that are involved with those. People can also register if you're not going to be available on November 7th to vote. You certainly can also register for an absentee ballot. Those also have time-sensitive deadlines that are coming upon us. So it's very important that you go to the town clerk's office. They can direct you. You can go on the town website and you can go on the state website to be educated about how to become an informed and registered voter. It's important that you have a say. These decisions are affecting, what happens to your schools, what happens to your community, what your job prospects will be in the future, what your town will look like.
Although this election is far different from any other. Since the start of our democracy in 1776, men have filled positions of power. But this year, women from our hometown have changed that. 8 of the 12 candidates are women. This means that 5 of the 9 spots on the board of directors will be filled by women, regardless of their party or affiliation.
That is the first time in Manchester's history.
Good luck to all the candidates on November 7th. From The Pulse, I'm Lauren Diana, and this has been Crash Course.
Tune into Crash Course next month to stay updated on our local government news.
For some, poetry is a way to express who they are, and on October 27th, the town gathered on Spruce Street to share and listen to each other's story. Matt Barnwell was there to capture this emotional night.
Singing. Dancing. Poetry.
Is the light afraid of the dark, or are they the same person? And that's why we can't see them in the same place at the same time.
And much more. Members of the Manchester community can express themselves in an infinite number of ways at Open Mic Night, a bi-weekly event held at the Resource Center on Spruce Street.
Beatboxers, hip-hoppers, lyricists, rapping is involved, poetry, dance. You want to come and tell some jokes, that's an art as well, comedy.
Ryan Parker, a teacher at Illing Middle School, organizes Open Mic Night and feels it plays a pivotal role in empowering the youth of Manchester.
That it's of the youth, for the youth, and by the youth, and that it's authentically so, and that they're saying things that more of us need to listen to, and we need to celebrate and recognize.
And the participants themselves feel that they have been able to grow both as a person and a performer by being a part of Open Mic Nights.
It gives me a platform to get over my stage anxiety and be free with my art form.
Open Mic Night is much more than just the performances. Mr. Delaney, a teacher at MHS and contributor to planning the event, feels that it works to bring the Manchester community closer together.
So you see people that all exist in this town come together in a way you don't often in the school system or really in any other place in this town.
Open Mic Night gives members of the Manchester community a fun way to both showcase their talents and express themselves. From The Pulse, this has been Matt Barnwell reporting.
Open Mic Night is a great way for people to express themselves and bring the community together. It looked like a great turnout. I really wish I could have been there.
Yeah, I wish I'd gone too. But last Friday was a really eventful night. At that same time, the Manchester girls soccer team had their final home game of the season. Chris Pagano has the story on senior night.
Senior night is an event student athletes look forward to throughout their entire high school careers. Not like an ordinary game, senior night is a high school sports tradition that takes place on the last home game of every sports season. Families and friends all come together to help support the seniors in their final game on their home field. This year's MHS girls varsity team had 4 seniors. Senior captain Emma Kerr reflected on what this game meant for her and her senior teammates.
This game meant a lot to us, both on and off the field, because we had such a good team this year and we really grew.
In order to honor the seniors, junior Vanessa Langer,
number 21, Vanessa Langer,
along with the other underclassmen, made
posters for the seniors, and we have one girl escort each of the seniors. Also, we put cups with their numbers on the fences.
Senior night isn't just for the seniors. For parents like Sue Kerr, this game marks as the last time they will see their kids play on an MHS field.
It's a moment, of wow, very proud, at the same time really sad.
This memorable night stands as a goodbye to those finishing out their high school careers. And some people had some encouraging words for this year's senior class.
I love them and I hope they do great in college.
Very proud of her.
But I love each and every one of them and I'm going to miss them so much next year.
Tonight's game was successful in promoting breast cancer awareness and honoring our senior athletes. On site here at the MHS Girls Soccer Senior Night game and from the Pulse, this has been Chris Pagano reporting.
Senior night is always a very memorable experience for all senior athletes.
Yeah, mine was about 2 weeks ago, and it was a really emotional night for all of us.
Well, best of luck to the rest of the fall athletes as they wrap up their 2017 seasons.
Coming up, we investigate some controversial topics within the walls of MHS. But first, here's an important message to the seniors applying to college.
Attention all seniors. While most of you have already started applying to schools, it is also important to start applying for scholarships. The school offers so many potential opportunities to help pay for college, and November is the best time to start applying. Make sure to watch out for special offerings emails from Miss Minor, and there you can find designated days to meet with Miss Batista and go over scholarship information during Flex. You can also schedule time to meet your guidance counselor. For more information and questions, come visit room 211 or email Miss Batista at dbatista@mpspride.org.
The MHS senior parking lot is one of the most trafficked places around campus. But there's been a lot of controversy surrounding this area. Our very own Colin Zorger sought out to find if painting the senior lot should be considered a tradition or vandalism.
The senior lot at Manchester High School is one of the most highly trafficked areas on the campus. The lot is where students can park and is available for parking during athletic games and other events here at MHS. The lot is in rough shape, however, but it is in store for some improvements. Ms. Minor gives us the insight into what's in store.
Okay, so what I know about the senior lot right now is that the electrical work is being done in November. So they're actually going to be replacing panels and shutting down sections of the parking lot one at a time. It starts around like the day after Election Day, the 8th, and it'll continue for a few weeks. And so sections of the parking lot are going to be closed at different times, but then when it's all done, we'll have brand new lighting in the parking lot, senior lot.
The new lighting will help keep the senior lot a safe and clean place. One thing that has contributed to the wear of the lot has been the painting of parking spots by the seniors before the first day of school every year. The town has been covering these spots over with a black tar. Some students recognize the reason why the town is covering up the paint, but also believe that the parking lot can represent the senior class as long as nothing vulgar is being displayed.
I think that painting the entrance to the senior lot has been a tradition for a few years now, and I feel like if nothing offensive is being written, then it shouldn't come with any repercussions, and I feel like it adds a uniqueness to the school.
The painting over of spots does, however, affect the image of our school to families and visiting athletic teams.
So I think it absolutely affects our image, and it's probably one of the most highly trafficked areas on the property. We have a lot of community people in, using the gym, using the pool, coming to games. So I think, how we present to the community in the senior lot is really important.
Athletic Director Lindsay Boudelier also thinks the senior lot affects the image of MHS.
Well, like anything else, first impression is when people pull up to something, they notice what the first thing they see is. Yes, they'll probably look over to the field, but as they park and if there's garbage or if there's paint that shouldn't be there, it does affect the image.
Hopefully by the time winter rolls around, MHS will have new lighting and a new paved parking lot. From the Senior Lot and the Pulse, this has been Colin Zorger reporting.
I personally think that painting the senior lot is a great tradition, but it's pretty clear why some people would view it as vandalizing school property.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you could kind of go either way with it. And MHS students and staff are working together to figure out what the best option is for the senior lot.
Along the lines of controversy, there is still a lot of debate about the switch from Power Hour to Flex Block this school year. Andrew Suey asked the student body how they have been affected by this change.
This year, Manchester High School made a switch from the Power Hour schedule to a new Flex schedule. Administrators stated student fights and irresponsible behaviors were reasons for this change. I got a chance to sit down with Mr. O'Reilly, member of the Flex Board.
We're looking to schedule a time in the day where kids can access their teachers and attempt to do better in their classes. The difference now is we think there's a different structure in place where kids have to kind of process, like, okay, what do I need to do next week or this week, and kind of plan and advocate for themselves, which was a process that was kind of missing from the Power Hour.
Now that we heard the Flex Committee's perspective, I got a chance to take the halls at MHS and talk to the community and students and staff about this change.
Do you feel as Flex has had a positive or negative impact on the school's schedule?
I believe it has had a negative impact, but that also is because I'm very biased because I love Power. And I believe that Power was way better because it allowed you to see multiple teachers at once.
It has a negative effect because kids don't really get to go to the classes they need.
Flex has had a mix of impacts. I feel like for me personally, having Flex is an opportunity to finish some homework.
As a security guard, you saw the fights last year during Power Hour. Do you believe that the removal of Power Hour was the best thing, and are kids using Flex productively?
Absolutely. Flex, well, it could be better, but it's a lot better than what it was last year.
Do you like Flex?
No, I do not.
Do you have any reasons to that opinion?
It's not that Flex itself is that bad, it's just that I would prefer Power Hour back.
I don't like Flex.
Clearly, Flex has received mixed opinions here at MHS, and everyone is doing a best job to adapt to the new schedule. From the Pulse, this has been Andrew Suey reporting.
It's clear that there are a lot of students that are adjusting well to the new structure of Flex Block.
Yeah, but not all students are happy about it. There's actually a petition online to bring back Power Hour.
Regardless of the petition, Ms. Miner wants students to know that Flex is here to stay.
Well, that's all we have for you this week, Manchester. Be sure to tune in next week for an exclusive look at the work going on behind the scenes of our beloved homecoming parade and a spotlight of one of Manchester's most athletic students.
If you have any ideas for stories we might have missed, email Mr. Larson at b11elars@mpspride.org.
To learn more about the Pulse or to check out some of our other projects, visit our website at mhstelevision.com.
And don't forget to follow us on Twitter and like us on Facebook at MHS Red Prod. I'm Delaney Faulkner.
And I'm Kyle Smith, and this has been The Pulse.